Guitarristas en Guitar Summit 2024 en Mannheim no solo le echamos un vistazo al equipamiento, también tenemos la suerte de conocer a grandes artistas como Matteo Mancuso. Matteo, it's such a pleasure to have you in our channel.
Thank you.
How the Guitar Summit experience been so far?
Well, so far very well. I did 2 clinics, one yesterday, one today. Now this night we have the first actual performance with my trio. It will be so much fun. A lot of guitar players, of course. Yeah, but so far so good, yeah.
Did you have the chance to meet old friends and meet new friends too?
Yeah, I met a lot of friends, people like Paul Davids, for example, Charles Berthoud, the bass player, Bernd, the incredible player from Vienna, Austria. And yeah, there are a lot of, the community is not really big, so we kind of know each other. Yeah, and I also saw Felix. Yes, I played with Felix, Jared James Nichols, Andy Wood, a lot of outstanding players.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of performances and playing, I think you have dates in Spain in December.
Yeah. First we do, I think, Barcelona, December 13, and December 14 we do Madrid. Or maybe it's the opposite. I don't really remember.
No worries, we can check.
Yeah. But it will be Barcelona, Madrid, yeah.
Okay. I saw you in a clinic in Barcelona and I was impressed by your technique, as the world is also. I wanted to ask you about that because, I mean, you're so young. How old are you, Matteo?
I'm 27.
27?
Yeah.
People, especially old people like me, are always, all the time, saying that young people are not interested in learning an instrument, are not interested in improving their technique, and you're the proof, the living proof that this is wrong. That's not wrong. Why do you think old people think that of young people?
Well, I guess I'm a particular case because I was lucky enough to born in a musical family. So my father is also a guitar player. My brother also plays guitar. We all are interested in music in some way. And first when I was a little kid, I thought it was like the normal thing for families. And then when I did go to like middle school, everyone was interested in soccer, for example, or football. And I didn't know nothing about like Juventus, Milan, Inter. Like I don't follow football at all. And it was strange to me because, like most of the people were not interested in music, at least people of my age, Then I did go to the musical high school at the conservatory, and then I found like, particular people like me, let's say. But I guess there are a lot of people interested in guitar because it's a popular instrument. And actually, I think the community is growing. It's growing very slowly, but it's actually growing, luckily for us. So I think it's a matter of, getting kids exposed to music. Not necessarily instruments, but getting kids exposed to music that it's not necessarily on the radio sometimes. So I think culturally learning kids how to listen music can be maybe the most important thing. Yeah.
The conclusion I get when I hear that is that what makes the difference is the family. Because
yeah, I guess the family and the cultural environment.
But you were also exposed to, I don't know, like mainstream music, like.
Yeah, not that much actually.
Oh, okay. So
because my father was not a big fan of the radio, so we never listened to the radio when I was in the car.
Cool.
And we were listening to a lot of CDs from my father. I remember one of the CDs was Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, and there was also an album by Wes Montgomery, Boss Guitar, I remember, and an album by AC/DC, and of course maybe the Purple tunes. But there were pretty much CDs, much less radio. I have to be honest. Yeah.
I always ask this because I'm very curious about it. Which was the moment where you said, wow, things are really getting big in your career?
Well, there was a point, I should say probably after the Beato interview, everything like started to explode a little bit, and like I, ask myself, okay, now I have to work a little bit more. I cannot like procrastinate like I used to do, maybe more in the later years. Yeah, but other than that, I always wanted to do this work, and I enjoy playing music. And even if I don't have this kind of success, let's say, I I do it anyway, you know. I don't do it because it's successful. I do it because I love it. So even if nobody cares, I will play the guitar. You know?
I'm surprised you answered the Beato interview, because in guitaristas.info, the website, the forum where we usually are,
Yeah.
we were crazy about you long before that.
Well, because you are a true fan, yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
joking. Yeah, but there were like a lot of things before the Beat interview, you know.
Okay.
But especially this year, not only because of Rick, but because of some other events. Also, I played with Joe Bonamassa this year. Was incredible, you know.
Incredible.
And it is, of course, one of my best memories. Yeah.
You've been playing Yamaha for a while. What makes you comfortable on a guitar?
Well, if it is a versatile guitar, I prefer that. I first of all like humbucker guitars, but I don't want an humbucker with too much output, because I also play a lot of jazz stuff, and I don't want too much output on the jazz lines or jazz sound, let's say. And the Revstar was kind of in between. Because I wanted a guitar that was similar to the SG, because I'm a big fan of the Gibson SG, but a little bit more versatile. And the Revstar was the perfect guitar for that regard. So I think for me it was the right choice. I started working with Yamaha since like 2017, so it's quite a long time. Yeah.
And also, I see you usually work with modular helix.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, I don't want to say that you only play jazz, because you play lots of things, but as I was going to say that usually the worlds that are close to the jazz world are not very friendly with modulars, digital technology, modern thing. How do you feel about that?
I don't know why, because it's so reliable. It sounds good. It's way more comfortable to get around instead of an amp. And I should say now digital amp modeling did arrive on a level that's on par, if not superior to an amp, I think, because it's far more tweakable. You can basically have 200 amps with you in just one pedal board.
Yes.
And the sound, I cannot distinguish the sound of, if I hear something recorded and you tell me that was an amp or a digital amp modeling, I don't recognize it, you know?
You can tell the
and not
difference.
even my father, for example. My father is a big analog fan. He has a lot of like Marshall JCM 800 at home. And we sometimes do the comparison between like the plugin of the JCM and the real. Sometimes we cannot even notice it, you know? Even the plugins are so good nowadays, so yeah.
Absolutely. Matteo, when one watches a video where you appear playing, that will be the typical video when people would write, "I quit playing." You get that a lot, I'm sure. What
Yeah,
would you say to
sometimes.
those people?
Well, don't keep playing, because you don't have always to compare yourself to other players. Everyone has his kind of special voice, let's say. I can't play like Steve Ray Vaughan, and Steve Ray can't play like Paul Gilbert, and Malmsteen can't play like Tommy Emmanuel, you know? Everyone has his own kind of path, you know? And I don't want to compare myself to the other players, so I will never quit. Even if I see someone that plays with fingers better than me, you know? I will never quit. I don't want to compare myself with other people, yeah.
Matteo, thank you. Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks.
Nos vemos la próxima, guitarristas.